Everybody. All right, we're going to jump right in. There we go. And we're just going to dive right into what I want to talk about today. And here we go. So, what we're talking about today is simple. It's actually just Google Drive. And I only say this because you would not believe how many times a day I get things where people have Drive wrong. So, when you log into your Google account, it's pretty easy to get into. I just go directly into drive.google.com, or you can go to the 9 squares and click on Drive. When you do that, it'll open up Drive. Fun thing about Drive is that it opens up whatever you last were in. Not the actual file, but the subset folder and area. So the subset folders and areas you can have are Priority, My Drive, Shared Drives, Shared with Me, Recent, Starred, and Trash. Obviously in this one, the last one they were in is Starred, so it opens right into it. There's a few things to know about them. Priority, it's not one I usually touch or go on. That's when you would mark it high probability. At the same time, I would use Starred, so it's not one I like to use as much. Shared drives. A lot of people have been trying to do this and to share stuff with people. Don't use shared drives. Brian, I'm looking at you. Don't use shared drives. This is more for back office. We share stuff internally with each other this way. But for you guys, My Drive is where you're going to want to spend about, 90 to 95% of your time. Because your drive is your stuff. Okay? Looking at these right here, I can tell that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I can tell that 9 folders are shared. How can I tell that? The folder has a little person on it. Cool. When you open up your drive, at the top it has quick access. So these are the most commonly opened things you have in Drive. This is the training computer. This is where Craig does his, we do all the meetings. So the most common things Craig opens: goal setting, sales meeting agenda, sales meeting agenda, sales meeting agenda, and Caravan. Those are the most common things he opens on this computer. Okay? If you looked at mine would be very different. Mine alternates rapidly and daily. Like I said, in here we know that something is shared because check that out. It has a little person on it. Down here are other files. These are individual files. Again, you can store this however you want to. Personally, I use folders inside my drive. All right, I have here's here. It's just like a mobile desktop of your computer. Drop this here, drop this there, have it here, have it there. Okay? One of the most notorious things we get, looking at you, Chris, is when someone goes, I shared an entire folder to you, or I shared an entire thing to you, and all they did was click on one little thing. So here, Photos 4. Okay? There's nothing in here, so let's drop some stuff in here. Okay? There's 2 ways to load into Drive. One, you can do new file upload and upload the file, or it tells you right here, drop or use the new button. Nice thing about Drive is it tells you what to do. Google loves to tell you, here it is. Here we go. We're going to take this, I'm going to drop the file in. Boom, it's uploaded, there it is. Okay. Get another one. Drop it in. Awesome. All right, so here's the #1 problem everyone does when sharing. This is it. They right-click the picture and they hit share. The better way to actually do it, and the only way you should really do it, is up at the folder, share the folder. So up at the top level. Let's say, for example, Chris Reed decides he has 3 new pictures he wants to go for a listing. Chris right-clicks on the picture and hits share and goes, here's all 3 folders. What came across? 1 picture. The better way is, hey, the folder, share, here you go. Easier and quicker way. You can do this with people inside the network or outside the network. So that's inside at C21 or in or out of our domain. You can share 1 item with the folder if you want to, but if you're saying here's multiple items, yeah, share the folder. Share the folder. It's just a little bit easier on you. Okay. From here, we can do a few other things. You can take people's access away. Okay? So notice I have right here, it's shared. Oh, it's shared with the share settings. I have no one shared with. Let's say I wanted to share it with Brian. Okay. I could send it, and I could add a message. All right. Send it to him. Brian will get that. But you know what? I don't want Brian to actually see it. So before then, I click on Advanced, and I take off the X, and I save changes. That means Brian can't see it. That's how you can add and remove someone. That simple and that quick. The little pencil by it means that you can edit, and the eyeball means that you can view it. If you have eyeball view, that means you can only view it. You can't edit it. You have to request from the owner the ability to edit it. Oh yeah, I removed you. Yep, I removed you. You're out. Yeah. Once you're removed, you can't get back in. It'll say you'll need to have permissions. All right, some of these files. Let's say this is an important folder. I can add to starred. That'll put it down here in the starred, which shows it as one of the important ones that I have. Let's say I no longer think it's important. I no longer need it at my, where I can quick access stuff. Right click, remove from starred. It didn't delete it. It just removed it from what I consider important. Right here in the training computers starred area is company forums, office music, next level U, sales meeting, and the caravan. Those are the ones that are touched all the time. But seeing how Craig likes to redo sales meetings all the time, I'm going to remove the star. Hint, Craig, and anyone else, if you're making a presentation and you're using it regularly, like with caravans, caravans is a document that we have that's here every week. And all we do is we change that one. That's it. We alter it instead of making a whole new instead of making a whole new caravan. In fact, you can go in. We had 2 or 3 on caravan this week. I forget. And we already have one right here for next week. So you can actually see stuff that's coming up. Share drives. Remember, please just don't use it. It's more of a hassle for you than you'll realize. Shared with me. In this, you can see anything that's shared to you. Okay. Hey, check this out. Wonder what's shared. All of Craig's sales meetings. Okay. So let's say, I don't need to be a part of this one anymore. You can right-click on it, okay, and you can remove. Now, watch what it says at the bottom. Removing one file. Give it a second. It'll say the next words of still accessible to other people. So if you don't own the file and you remove yourself from it, that person still has access to it. Removed one file. Remove file is still accessible by collaborators. So that means you did not own the file. Okay? That means that they own the file. You just said, hey, I don't need to be a part of this anymore. And you took yourself off. What if I own it? What happens when I remove that? Everybody loses it. Now, here's a weird way. Everyone will still have access to it, but it'll tell them that it's deleted. So there's been plenty of times Craig has decided to delete something, thinking he doesn't need it anymore, not knowing he's the owner. I catch it, go, hey, Craig, pull it out of your trash. We need that. Recent, it's real easy. It's the recent things you've accessed. Again, on this one, we're just showing you there's not much that we grabbed. You can see the recent files we've actually touched are all of Craig's stuff, and then my stuff. The email signature, voicemail setup, all that good thing, all those good things. Starred, went over it. I showed you how to add a star to something. It's real quick, real easy. Okay? Trash. Okay? This is anything you've had and you've deleted. Okay? You can clear this out, but make sure it's stuff you don't need any of. I know this stuff is not needed. 1, 2, 3, any street test. Looking at it. Okay, I can literally hit the button. Empty trash. You can't undo empty and trash, just so you know. Going back to my drive, and we'll just choose one random file, okay? We're going to take this one, we're going to right-click on it. All right. You can preview it. Okay. Open with. Nice thing about Drive is it will automatically try to see what you're using. So let's say you upload a Word document, it's going to know that you want to open it. It'll let you preview it, but if you want to edit it, you have to open it with Google Docs. You have to alter it from being a Microsoft product to a Google product. That's good. That's nice because you can edit it anywhere, mobile, while you're out. The only problem is they have more of a limited availability of things. Okay, as I was talking about before I started the meeting, Apple doesn't play nice with Google. Google doesn't play nice with Amazon. Amazon doesn't play nice with Microsoft. Microsoft doesn't play nice with Apple. They don't play well with each other. They want you to stay their product. Cross-product is something they know they have to do, but they'd rather you stay in their product. Okay? Google really put on with Google Drive, Docs, Slides, and all this, the Microsoft killer. Microsoft has now switched over to doing OneDrive, which you all have seen, where you can work on something one place and it'll be the same anywhere else you're logged into OneDrive. Yeah, they've been doing it for 13 years now. Okay. Get shareable link. Share. Same thing. You want to share the file or shareable link. Getting a shareable link and sending that link to someone gives them access to be in it. The only reason I warn you about using a shareable link is Brian gives me a shareable link. I go, that's awesome. I forward it to 5 other people. I have no control. Those 5 other people now have the ability to get in. Okay? Add to workspace. You guys don't use workspace. Please ignore that one. Move to. Well, nice thing about Google will show you, you can drag and drop into folders, or you can right-click and choose Move to, and then choose the folder you want it to go to. Add to star. Rename. This is one of the more popular. This is one of the more easy, popular ones. Anyone that uses Don, Ashley, or Shannon for photos, you can rename the photos right there in Drive. So let's say, Brian, you put up a file and it's 2020 tax return. Okay. Oh no, I mistook that. It was actually the 2019 tax return. So go ahead, rename 2019 tax. That's how quick you can do it. View details. Honestly, unless you're someone like me that's looking into when you access something or anything else, you don't really need to touch that. Manage versions. This lets you know how many versions of something there are. If we look up the printer file, if we look up the printer guide that I give out to OTLs, it's now in its 25th version that I know of. Okay. Make a copy. Make a copy is, this is a better thing when someone shares something. So let's say, Brian, you're part of the Mirror Bay team, and the Mirror Bay team has the Excel calendar that they have, the Google Sheets calendar that they can fill out. Let's say Brian wanted to make his own calendar. Why he wouldn't use Google Calendar, I don't know. But let's move from there. And instead, he's like, oh, I'm going to use, I want to copy that form and how it looks. So he would make a copy, and that would put a copy of that form. So Chris made the form. Brian makes a copy and makes a copy of that form and puts it in Brian's Drive. Now Brian can edit it and do whatever he wants with it without anyone else seeing the changes. So you could take it, make it something different, use it for like dinner menu, something like that. Report abuse. I've only had to ever use that once, and that was because someone made a file that you could not delete and you had to, and it was spam. Download. I don't really need to explain that. Remove. I don't really need to explain remove. These are the things that can help you go and be about. The nice thing is, if you switch over, you have it on your phone, Google Drive, you can access and see things on the fly. You can see what's going through, you can see how it is. That's the quickest and easiest way. So let's say, for example, we want to move. Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay. We're going to delete this file afterwards. But we want this one right here. Okay. Notice I grabbed it, I clicked it, and I'm dragging. And I want to put it here in video. There it goes. What about this one? I right-click, and I want to move to. All right, it goes, hey, where do you want to move it to? I want to move it to here and move. Both of those, I want to highlight. It'll move it to the folder within there that you choose. Yes. Yep, within Drive. I'm going to right click. I'm going to remove both of those. And look, they're gone. Anyone that noticed that? That was, all right. Notice I have 19 PDF and 19 PPTX. These tell me the files type they are. This tells me that it's a PDF and a PowerPoint. When I go to rename something, Google tells you what you want to do. You want to have anything that's highlighted in blue. If you remove the extension at the end, .pdf, .pptx, .docx, .jpeg, .whatever, you're removing the file type. Now, when you look in Drive, yeah, it all looks from, you can see it because Drive knows what it was and you can have it. But when you download it, you won't be able to do it. And oh my goodness, what was that? Don't remove the .whatever. A lot of people do that with photos. A lot of people come in with a photo like this, mission.jpg, rename, and they do this. 01 .front. What does that tell a computer when it downloads it? That its name is 01 and its format is .front. That doesn't exist. That's Google Drive in a nutshell, guys. That's the easiest way. The only two things I can really show you that's big on this is right up here. This is list view, so you can look at it like this. I'd rather look at it as a grid view, as a graphical interface. And then information, like so you can click on it. It tells you where it's located, where it was, when it was accessed, when it was created, and the activity. Oh, we created it, and we sit in, we can view this. That's about it. Information's nice, but I don't really touch it. I will tell you, I've told you time and time again, I would not drag your files from my docs and drop them in there. I would only have your pertinent stuff that you're currently and always working on. Dropping your own stuff from your computer into this, one, is a lot to put in, and two, I don't remember exactly what we have our share settings at. So you could be dropping in. I'm still finding stuff from Joel that he never took share settings off of. So I highly recommend not doing that. I recommend using Drive for files that you currently actively and always are accessing and going through. Mine, I have a few that I have stat sheets that I update on my personal Drive. That's what I use it for. I update statistics and everything else. This one, for my work one, it's where I just keep the most accessible folders, files that I'm touching on a daily basis. Other than that, I still keep my stuff on my computer and on my backup. I don't want everything there. It's not meant to, it is meant to replace. It is meant to replace using Microsoft. But I would highly recommend for you not putting all your ducks in one little basket. With that, guys, have a good chat. What if we'd like to keep our photos of a listing? Okay, you can keep them in there. That's fine. They're shared to you. There it is. Okay. Craig, we got sound, bud. All right. With that, have a great weekend, guys. See ya.